Hello parents and students. This is chapter number 3, lesson number 2, making a picture graph. In this lesson we're teaching the students the steps to make their own picture graph. As the previous lesson they were learning what a picture graph was and how to read one. Now they're going to be learning how to make their own. So what we're going to do is just take you step by step through a problem. In this problem it says Delia made the table at the right. She uses it to record the places the third grade classes would like to go during a field trip. How can you show this in a picture graph? 3 important steps when you're working on a picture graph. Number 1 is you need to make sure that you include a title and that you include all the information that is already given to us in the graph. So for this particular picture graph, if you look at the table, the title for the table is Field Trip Choices, and since they're asking us to take the information from the table and turn it into a picture graph, the picture graph is going to have the same title. So the title for this one is going to be Field Trip Choices. In the same step, you want to take all of the places that they're suggesting and write those down as well. They've already listed museum for us, so then we can also add the Science Center. I'm going to abbreviate there for that. Aquarium and the zoo. So there's your first step, making sure that you fill in the title and the place information. The next step is going to be deciding on a key. The key is really a very essential part of making a picture graph, and it's really important for the kids to understand how to make a key. When we're looking at a problem, to start off, we're going to always suggest to the kids to having the key be every something equals 1 of whatever it is. So for this particular question, they're talking about field trip choices and the number of students who picked a certain field trip. So for my key, I'm just going to use a circle. So for each circle, it's going to equal 1 student. Since my numbers are smaller, it's okay that I use it every circle equals 1 student. Obviously, if they're bigger numbers, you're going to want to make your key work differently. But for this one, every circle equaling 1 student is an okay step. So then the next step is going to be to draw the correct number of pictures for the field trip choices. So if we look at the table, for museum, it says 6. So in my picture graph, I'm going to have to draw 6 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I could go down to Science Center, and it says 15. So I'd have to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then aquarium, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And last but not least, zoo, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Using this process really makes it easy for us to be able to show the kids what it looks like to make your own picture graph. I want to show you one more example with the same problem, but just changing the numbers a little bit to make sure you can see how changing the key would change the picture. So, same information, it's still field trip choices. You're still possibly going to the Science Center or going to the aquarium and the zoo. But this time I'm going to change my key. I'm going to make my key a triangle just because. So my key is a triangle, and I'm going to say now that each triangle is going to be equal to 2 students. So for this example now, every time I draw a triangle, it's like I'm saying that there are 2 students. So if I go back to my data, my museum, 6 students went to the museum. So remember, each triangle, 2 students. So we say, okay, so 1 triangle, 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Those are my 6 students. Then we talk about the Science Center. For the Science Center, there's 15 students that want to go. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Now, if I were to draw another triangle here, that would make 16. Unfortunately, 16 is not the number we're looking for. We're looking for 15. So we've taught the students that if I look at this triangle and I cut it in half, half of a triangle would be like taking the key, which says each triangle is 2, and splitting that in half. Half of 2 is 1, so therefore a half of a triangle would equal 1 student. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and one more making 15.